Hey, welcome to the channel, everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to roast coffee at home with some simple tools that you probably already have. So stick around, I'm going to show you how. Okay, so we're back, and roasting coffee at home can be very simple. You don't have to go out and buy a roaster like I have. You may have one of these little sifting baskets at home that you can use. A little burner like this. I've got my barbecue heating up. I could probably even use that. I'm gonna cook some burgers later. I could probably make an extension for this so I don't have to burn my hand, and get it right over the heat over there and roast my beans before I cook my burgers. Amazon sells these for like 20 bucks. Okay, has a little thermometer in there. I'm not going to show you how to use this because I want to show you something that you may have around your own house. So that's it. What are we going to do? Green beans in a sifter with some heat. Now let me just give you a little rundown. It normally takes about 11 to 12 minutes to roast a coffee to a medium city roast. Okay? The first 5 minutes you're going to spend not really in the intense heat, but we're going to just use that first 5 minutes to really dry out the beans because they still do have some moisture in these beans. Then after 5 minutes we're going to brown the beans. We're going to take the next 5 minutes to brown the beans. So we'll get this a little bit closer to the flame, put a little more heat on it, we'll get it brown, and we'll watch the color. If it's going a little bit too fast, we'll take it off the heat or further from the heat. If it's going a little too slow, we'll get a little bit close to the heat. And then about the last 2 minutes is where we'll get into the first crack. Right about the 10-minute mark, we'll be hearing a first crack. It's going to sound like wood burning. You'll hear a little crack of the wood burning. That's what it's going to sound like. And then we're really going to develop the coffee for the next minute or two to bring it up to like a full city roast. I'm not going to burn this. I don't want to do like a French roast or anything like that. And I'm going to take it just below like a second crack, which is another crack in the bean. It sounds a lot like a higher pitched crack. So that's it. That's the time frame that we're looking at. It's about 11 to 12 minutes total. First 5 minutes dry, second 5 minutes brown. The last 1 to 2 minutes we'll develop the coffee. So let's go. I'm going to go ahead and get my flame turned on here. And the one thing that you do need to do is you need to constantly shake your beans. There'll be some chaff that's going to burn off on here. You'll see it here shortly. Well, actually, it's going to be a little while. Probably going to be at least after the first 5 minutes. A little bit of the dust is going to drop down. You'll see it kind of all burn off as it hits down through the flame. That's it. This is simple. I mean, you're going to be shaking a lot. A little bit. Whoop. I got some holes in here. That's not good. I'm going to shift over. Oh, yeah, I do. I have a hole down there. Good thing I had something on standby. Hey, adapt and overcome. Okay. So I'm going to say we've done this for about 30 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and set a timer. I'm all messed up here. There we go. I have a 12-minute timer set. So all I'm going to do is give this a shake. So, lesson learned here. Check your sifter to make sure there's no holes. Guess I need to throw this one away. Alright, so you're not going to watch me the whole entire time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward y'all to the next 5 minutes. Okay, so we're at 5 minutes and 20 seconds and they're starting to go from green to yellow. So that means they're dry, and now we're going to work the next 5 minutes on getting these brown. And I'm going to go ahead and, again, adjust the level or the height that I'm actually shaking these over the flame. And if I see it's going a little too fast, I'm just going to kind of raise it up. If I see it's going a little too slow, I'll bring it closer to the flame. So the next 5 minutes, I'm going to keep shaking. Going to get a lot of wrist work going on here. Work them wrists out. So yeah, for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and work on getting these brown. And so I'll be back in a second. Okay, so while I'm working here in the browning phase, I just want to remind you, if you're using this method here, you need to be outside. You're going to get a lot of smoke. There's a lot of chaff. I don't know if you can see the little pieces of chaff that are burning as they're releasing here, little flames coming out. That's just the chaff and the dust burning off. No big deal, but you want to be outside. Let all that stuff blow out in the air. Let that chaff blow out in the lawn. And do not do this inside. All right, looking good here. It's starting to get brown, and we're just going to keep on going. I probably got about another 3 minutes here. Then we'll be working towards the finishing phase of the roast. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some business while we're browning here, because I got about another 2 minutes here. But this episode's shout out is to all you Navy food service attendants, past and present, that had the honor and the pleasure of brewing all that Joe on our Navy ships. You all know who you are. Just about everybody else that wasn't an MS in the Navy or a CS. That includes you. This episode is dedicated to you. Okay, about another, I don't know, about 2 minutes to go here. And it's looking good. It's getting brown. Get some chaff kind of blowing off here. And roasting nicely. Smells, wow. I don't know if you've ever smelled coffee roasting, but it smells fantastic to me. Does make a bit of a mess. I got a lot of chaff out here. Again, that's why you don't want to be doing this in the house. But your wrists are going to get a workout. You notice that I'm shifting between my left and my right hand. It does get a little warm down here, so I have cook hands, but you may want to put a glove on. You don't want to burn your hands. You're going to know it. Okay, it's getting nice and brown here. I still got another minute. Now, I'm not rushing this because I really want the coffee to develop. If you run it just straight through really fast, you're not really developing the coffee. You want to develop it all the way through to the inside of the bean. So longer is not a problem, shorter is a problem. And you're doing this outside. You're doing this is something you may want to do when you're out camping, to have fresh roasted coffee at the campsite. And doing it by sight. What looks good to you? What do you like? Do you like it dark? Roast it darker. You like it light? Roast it lighter. Then taste it. If it tastes good to you, there you go. As long as you're happy, as long as your guests are happy, that's all that really matters. You don't have to get all in the weeds on this. There's a lot of coffee aficionados out there that are gonna be very precise, and you gotta take it to, do you. You do you. Now as I hone in here on the final moments of this roast, if you're not sure where you're at, you really can't see into there, once you hit the second crack and you start getting that crack that's a higher tone, you're probably there. Unless you want French roast or Vienna roast, you may want to stop there, because that's pretty much at a full city roast. It's a medium, kind of between medium and dark. Great for espresso. great for a regular brewed cup of coffee. And I am almost at the second crack right now. I'm starting to hear some of those smaller cracks. If I hear more of them, I know I'm there. And I think I'm almost there. Yeah. Here's the second crack. And that's a nice cinnamon color. So I'm going to stop right there. I don't want to go any further than that. All right. Now, a little bit of I'm going to kind of turn this a bit, shake it a bit up in the air, let it cool down. If I had a fan out here, I'd put it in front of a fan, but I don't. So I'm just going to kind of wave it around and cool it down with the air. But I do want to take a look at it, so let me take a look real quick. Be careful, that little coupling is hot. And oh baby, this is absolutely perfect. I still want to cool this down, so actually what I'll do is I'll put my beans in here. Whew, and keep shaking them. But wow, I don't know if you can see those, but they're not light, they're not French roast, they don't have a little oil on them, so just over second crack. And probably pull these at about, if I were to measure the temperature of the beans themselves, they're probably about 420 degrees. So I'm going to keep kicking these out a little bit, let them cool down. In fact, I might even go ahead and throw these in the fridge and let them cool down in the fridge. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I wish I had a fan out here, because I'd just keep them in the basket and just keep blowing a fan on it. But these look really good. So I'll be back in a second. Well, welcome back, and my beans have cooled down. In fact, I've let them rest now, degas, for 2 days. So this is 2 days later, and I'm really happy with the quality of roast that I got with the basket. Now I gotta tell you, I don't know if you can see that, but I've got a really nice even roast. And I went through, and I do this with any roast, whether I'm roasting by hand in a commercial roaster. I'll always go through my beans and I'll try to see if there's anything visually that I can see that may be potentially burned, and I pull out. And I can tell you that I only pulled 3 beans out of that basket that were what I considered burned. So I got a really nice roast. Now what I'm going to do is I want to taste this. Now I'm not going to get into the weeds on proper cupping, because I don't want you to, that's for another time. What I want to teach you right now is you can roast coffee at home very easily without going out and buying a roaster. You can do it with a basket, and it's very simple. I want you to have fun. I want you to enjoy it. You do you. Experiment for a while. Cupping will come later. If you're making something that you enjoy, that it tastes good to you, then that's all you need to be concerned with right now. Cupping's another day. So what I like to do, I like to test my coffees through an espresso machine, because I grind the beans finer. I'm exposing more of the bean to the water. I'm getting more of an extraction, so I'm getting more flavor. I can really determine how that coffee tastes to me. What am I picking up? I'm really getting the body as well. The body of the coffee, really pick that up. So that's the way I like to do it at home, by my taste. I do regular cupping as well. If I was commercially roasting for people, I would be cupping and what have you. But I'm only here in my house. I'm roasting a small batch of coffee. I'm not going to get deep in the weeds myself either sometimes. So what I'm going to do is I have 18 grams of beans that I put in my grinder here. I'm just going to grind them up. Now, I love this grinder. This is like my portable grinder. Take this everywhere, especially when we're on the road and I want good coffee. It takes about a minute. That's it. And actually, I found a hack out there where if you don't want to do all this, stay tuned for another episode on hand grinders. And I've created a cool little gizmo that you can just put on here with a hand drill and you're done. But hey, we all need a workout, right? A way of getting some exercise in. It's only 60 seconds, so who cares? And you can tell when the grind is done. You're not hearing a grind, and this will swing freely. Okay. Now, we saw what the outside of the bean looks like. Let's see what the inside. Actually, right over here is a nice cut view of a bean. So I like to take these beans and crack them open, crack them in half, like so. And right over here, you'll see that the side view. So I'm looking for a bean that's the color is nice and even all the way through from front to back. And as you can see, I've got a great roast. It's not burnt on the outside. There's a little bit of a discoloration in the middle, but that is the actual bean itself. But you can see on both sides of that, it's nice and brown, almost to the color of a monk's tunic. So that's one way. The other way that I like to check my coffee is I'll grind it. And this is what I do when I cup as well. And then I'll go ahead and put it in a bowl, like so. And again, to the color of a monk's tunic. Not too dark, not too light. I like to smell it. Wow. I bet you wish we had smell-o-vision right now. Wow. Very, very nice. Not smoky. I'm picking up a little hint of blueberry. I'm going to see if, when I taste it, if that's what I'm really picking up. Maybe a little raisin. So, it looks really good. I mean, look, fantastic. It's nice and even. I'm not getting any dark speckles in there. It's nice and evenly brown all the way out. So, next thing to do is to try this out. And I've got my espresso machine already set up here. Just kind of do a little bit of housekeeping here. And I was warming up my little cup. Now let's see what we have. And if you haven't seen the video on my Flare Neo, you need to go watch it. Trust me. So I do a little bit of a pre-extraction here. Let the grind soak a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and finish it off. It's a great portable espresso machine. You gotta watch the video. It smells so freaking good. This is old school right here. Okay. Would you look at that? Look at that crema. Okay. That blueberry that I was picking up in the grinds, I'm really picking up now. Home roasted coffee, not in a roaster, in a basket. Wow. You can do this and you can save a ton of money on your coffee bill. You can. I'll put some links down in the description of some of the places where I buy green bean from. One being Sweet Maria's, the other is Berman Coffee, Theta Ridge, who I used to commercially buy coffee bean from. They do small batches now for home consumption. And I mean, the world of green bean has just exploded in the last 10 years, and the offerings are just crazy. In fact, later on today I'm going to be roasting some Kona for a friend that I was able to get from Berman. So, wow. Some of you may be asking, well, how much did you roast and how much do you get out of it? I roasted 9 3/4 ounces of green bean, and I ended up getting 8 ounces, just under 8 ounces of roasted coffee out of that. So if you go around 9 to 10 ounces, you're gonna end up with roughly a half a pound of coffee. And also, you gotta make sure that when you do roast your coffee, you have something airtight that you can put your coffee in, like I do here. See, I just added another half pound in here, so I got almost a pound of coffee. And it has a one-way gas relief valve. So when I roast my coffee, I go ahead and put it right into here after it's cooled down so that it can degas, those gases can escape, but we keep it fresh. Now, if you're trying to figure out exactly what sort of roast your coffee is, Sweet Maria's, Berman, they have these cool little charts that you can buy, and they're not very expensive, that'll actually show you all the different types of roast and their colors. And that's what I usually use for the bean, and then I flip it over, and when I do my grinds, I use that for my ground. See, nice little chart. I love it. I'm so glad they came out with this, and that's what I use. You can use it as well, and hey, there you go. That's how you determine your color profile. There you go. So there you have it. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and most importantly, share. And right over there, hit the logo. It makes it so much easier to subscribe to the channel. So until next time, thanks. Hey, we'll be seeing you.